Episode 1. The Broken Scale. In the bustling city of Babylon, amidst the aroma of spices and the chatter of traders, stood a towering stele, a testament to the wisdom of King Hammurabi. Shallum, a young stonemason known for his integrity and skill, gazed at the monument with reverence, believing in its promise of justice for all. One day, Naram Sin, a wealthy merchant with a penchant for opulence, approached Shallum seeking a masterpiece for his villa. Shallum, eager to showcase his talent, agreed to craft a statue using the finest imported stone. After weeks of meticulous work, the statue stood complete, a testament to Shallum's craftsmanship and Naram Sin's wealth. However, when it came time to settle the agreed price, Naram Sin reneged, accusing Shallum of delivering a flawed sculpture. Despite Shallum's protests, Naram Sin, buoyed by his influence, brushed him aside. Crestfallen, Shallum turned to Iti-Mardu, the chief judge of Babylon, for recourse. With a steadfast demeanor, Iti-Mardu listened to Shallum's plight and instructed him to gather witnesses to attest to the statue's perfection. Meanwhile, a grand ceremony was announced, where King Hammurabi would unveil new laws pertaining to artisans and contracts, further solidifying his commitment to justice. As the ceremony commenced, with the king's imposing presence commanding attention, Naram Sin seized the opportunity to publicly accuse Shallum and demand enforcement of a law that would favor him. Undeterred, Shallum presented his witnesses, who testified to the statue's flawless craftsmanship. In adherence to the new code of laws, Iti-Mardu ruled in favor of Shallum, ordering Naram Sin to fulfill his contractual obligation. Enraged by the judge's decision, Naram Sin threatened to appeal to the king himself. But Iti-Mardu stood firm, unwavering in his commitment to uphold justice. Relieved and grateful, Shallum witnessed firsthand the power of the Code of Hammurabi. As whispers of the fairness of the new laws spread through the crowd, the episode concluded, leaving viewers pondering the enduring strength of justice under Hammurabi's rule. Episode 2. The Accused Wife. In the bustling marketplace of Babylon, where gossip thrives as much as trade, whispers of Shallum's triumph echo through the streets, igniting curiosity about the new code of laws. Amidst this backdrop, within a modest home, Inanna, a demure housewife, listens with a heavy heart as her husband, Ashurbanipal, bemoans the constraints the code places on husbands accusing their wives of infidelity. The following day, Ashurbanipal storms into their home consumed by jealousy, hurling unfounded accusations of adultery at Inanna, his suspicions fueled by his own insecurities and desire for control. Inanna, shaken and vulnerable, seeks refuge and wisdom from Ninlil, a revered elder in the neighborhood. Ninlil, drawing upon her years of experience, enlightens Inanna about a provision within the code, the ordeal by river, where a wife accused of infidelity can prove her innocence through a perilous trial. Though fraught with danger, it offers a chance at vindication. Caught between fear and the longing to clear her name, Inanna turns to Iti-Mardu, the chief judge of Babylon, for guidance. With compassion and clarity, Iti-Mardu explains the legal process under the code, emphasizing the necessity of evidence to substantiate Ashurbanipal's accusations. Summoned before the judge, Ashurbanipal struggles to provide any tangible proof, his allegations crumbling under the weight of the law. Confronted with the prospect of facing consequences for his baseless accusations, Ashurbanipal retreats, retracting his claims. Word of the case spreads rapidly, sparking conversations about the code's protection of women's rights. While some men grumble at the perceived erosion of their authority, others acknowledge the imperative of fairness and equality. Inanna, though shaken by the ordeal, finds solace in the assurance that the code offers her protection against unjust accusations. As the episode draws to a close, a lingering question hangs in the air. Can the Code of Hammurabi challenge entrenched societal norms and ensure justice, particularly for the marginalized and vulnerable? Episode 3. The Debt Dilemma. In the bustling marketplace of Babylon, where farmers barter for survival and debtors tread cautiously in the shadow of moneylenders, a tale of hardship unfolds. Shamash, a diligent farmer, watches helplessly as his once thriving crops wither under the relentless gaze of a harsh drought. Desperation grips him as he seeks assistance from Iltani, a notorious moneylender whose terms are as merciless as the parched earth. Despite the exorbitant interest rates that violate the newly established laws of Hammurabi, Shamash, driven by necessity, accepts the loan, unaware of the debt trap awaiting him. Months pass and the rains finally come, breathing life into the barren land. Yet Shamash finds himself ensnared in a web of debt, struggling to repay what he owes. Iltani, with his heart as barren as the drought-ravaged fields, threatens to strip Shamash of his land, plunging him and his family into destitution. In his hour of need, Shamash turns to Abiram, a compassionate baker who understands the value of friendship and the weight of financial burdens. Abiram, drawing upon his own struggles, reminds Shamash of the protections afforded by Hammurabi's code, urging him to seek justice from Itimardu, the beacon of law and order in Babylon. Before the court of Itimardu, Shamash presents his plight, laying bare the predatory practices of Iltani. With unwavering resolve, Itimardu scrutinizes the loan contract, exposing the egregious violation of the code's regulations on interest rates. Iltani, undeterred, attempts to justify his actions, citing the timing of the contract signing before the enactment of the new law. Yet Itimardu, wielding the wisdom of Hammurabi's code, asserts its retroactive application, ensuring that justice transcends the constraints of time. In a momentous ruling, Itimardu delivers justice to Shamash, compelling Iltani to revise the terms of the loan, granting Shamash reprieve and hope for a brighter future. News of the verdict reverberates through the city, shedding light on the code's protection for borrowers and challenging the exploitative practices of moneylenders. Meanwhile, as Abiram grapples with his own financial woes in the wake of rising wheat prices, he wonders if the code holds solutions for struggling businesses like his bakery, casting a shadow of uncertainty over the path ahead. As the episode draws to a close, a new inquiry emerges. Can the Code of Hammurabi navigate the intricacies of a shifting economy and safeguard the livelihoods of both debtors and entrepreneurs like Abiram, ensuring equity and prosperity for all under its hallowed laws? Episode 4: The Slave and the Scribe. In the heart of Babylon's bustling construction site, where the relentless sun beats down upon the backs of laboring slaves, a tale of oppression and justice unfolds. Adad-Gupi, a slave bound by the chains of debt, bears the weight of stone upon his shoulders as he toils under the cruel gaze of Enlil-Bani, a scribe whose arrogance knows no bounds. Enlil-Bani revels in his power, delighting in the humiliation and suffering of those beneath him, heedless of their humanity. One fateful day, tragedy strikes as a heavy stone crashes down, shattering Adad-Gupi's leg. Ignoring his cries of pain, Enlil-Bani dismisses his injury as feigned weakness, demanding his return to labor. But Adad-Gupi, crippled by agony, collapses under the weight of his torment. This grievous incident stirs unrest among the enslaved populace, whispers of a new law echoing through their midst, a provision within the Code of Hammurabi that promises protection from the tyrannies of cruel overseers. With the aid of a sympathetic fellow slave who possesses the gift of literacy, Adad-Gupi deciphers the sacred cuneiform script, unveiling the law that holds the key to his liberation, a law that condemns those who inflict unwarranted harm upon their charges. Summoning courage born of desperation, Adad-Gupi presents his case before Itimardu, the embodiment of Babylonian justice. With unwavering resolve, Itimardu heeds the cries of the oppressed, recognizing the pivotal moment that stands as a testament to the code's efficacy. Confronted by the weight of evidence and the immutable truth of Hammurabi's law, Enlil-Bani stands condemned, his hubris stripped bare before the eyes of justice. In a swift and resolute verdict, Itimardu decrees that the lashes inflicted upon Adad-Gupi shall be visited upon his tormentor in equal measure, a punishment as fitting as it is severe, meted out in the public square for all to witness. As the lash falls upon the back of the once arrogant scribe, a ripple of fear courses through the ranks of those who wield power unjustly, while a glimmer of hope ignites within the hearts of the downtrodden, for whom the promise of freedom beckons on the distant horizon. Yet as the episode draws to a close, a haunting question lingers in the air, a question that echoes through the annals of time. Can the Code of Hammurabi truly bridge the chasm that divides master from slave, freeing those bound by chains of oppression and ushering in an era of true equality and justice for all? Only time will tell. Episode 5. The Physician's Peril. In the bustling marketplace of Babylon, where the air is thick with the scent of herbs and the murmurs of worried citizens seeking solace, a tale of healing and accountability unfolds. Ninurta, a young and ambitious physician brimming with enthusiasm, establishes his tent amidst the throng, eager to showcase his knowledge of revolutionary medical techniques. His first patient, Ada, a wealthy merchant plagued by a mysterious ailment, places his trust in Ninurta's hands, hoping for relief from his suffering. With unwavering confidence in his innovative approach, Ninurta prescribes a potent herbal remedy, promising a swift recovery. However, the untested concoction proves disastrous, exacerbating Ada's condition and plunging him deeper into despair. Word of the calamity spreads swiftly, reaching the ears of Shamash Shum Ukin, a venerable elder physician steeped in tradition. Shamash Shum Ukin, a staunch advocate for established practices, denounces Ninurta's methods as reckless experimentation, casting doubt upon his competency as a healer. Incensed by the betrayal of trust, Ada invokes the Code of Hammurabi, accusing Ninurta of malpractice and demanding retribution for the harm inflicted upon him. Iti Mardu, the custodian of justice in Babylon, grapples with the weighty task of adjudicating a case that straddles the fine line between progress and tradition. The Code, while dedicated to safeguarding citizens from negligence, also acknowledges the inherent uncertainties of medical science in its infancy. As the trial unfolds, Iti Mardu navigates the clash between innovation and orthodoxy, hearing impassioned pleas from both sides. Shamash Shum Ukin advocates for leniency, recognizing Ninurta's earnest intentions and the inherent risks of pioneering treatments. Conversely, Ada demands accountability, underscoring the agony wrought by Ninurta's misguided efforts. In a judicious verdict, Iti Mardu finds Ninurta guilty of negligence, acknowledging his good intentions but admonishing his disregard for established protocols. The prescribed punishment, a substantial fine, serves as a sobering reminder of the grave responsibility borne by healers in their pursuit of healing. Humbled by the ordeal, Ninurta seeks wisdom from Shamash Shum Ukin, embracing the invaluable lessons of experience and the importance of striking a balance between innovation and tradition in the noble pursuit of healing. As the episode draws to a close, a poignant question lingers in the air, echoing through the corridors of time. Can the Code of Hammurabi evolve to embrace the ever-expanding horizons of knowledge and innovation, or will it remain anchored to the venerable traditions of the past? Only time will reveal the answer. Episode 6. The Irrigation Dispute. In the sun-scorched plains surrounding Babylon, where the earth thirsts for sustenance and the fate of crops hangs in the balance, a tale of resource management and justice unfolds. Ashur-bel-nishi, a diligent steward of the land, watches with a heavy heart as his crops wither under the merciless sun, deprived of the life-giving waters of the main irrigation canal. The culprit of his woes emerges in the form of Marduk-apla-iddina, a wealthy landowner whose greed knows no bounds, diverting the precious flow of water to nourish his own fields, heedless of the suffering inflicted upon his neighbors downstream. Seeking redress for the injustice that threatens his livelihood, Ashur-bel-nishi turns to Shamash Reshu, the water commissioner entrusted with safeguarding the equitable distribution of this vital resource. Though sympathetic to his plight, Shamash Reshu hesitates to challenge the influence of Marduk-apla-iddina, fearing reprisal. Yet, guided by the beacon of Hammurabi's code, Ashur-bel-nishi reminds him of the sacred duty to uphold the principles of fairness and justice. With unwavering resolve, Ashur-bel-nishi brings his grievance before Iti Mardu, the chief judge of Babylon, invoking the provisions of the code dedicated to the equitable allocation of water resources. In a meticulous investigation, Iti Mardu uncovers Marduk-apla-iddina's deceitful machinations, manipulating the flow of water to serve his own interests at the expense of his fellow farmers. The courtroom becomes the arena for a clash of principles as Itimardu delivers a resolute verdict, condemning Marduk Apla Idina's actions as a flagrant violation of the code. In a decree aimed at restoring balance and justice, he orders the redistribution of water according to the dictates of the law, ensuring that every farmer receives their rightful share. Word of the landmark ruling reverberates across the fertile plains, eliciting both relief and resentment. While the farmers rejoice in the vindication of their rights under the code, the privileged few who wielded undue influence over the resources grumble at the prospect of their power being curtailed. As the episode draws to a close, a poignant question lingers in the air, a question that weighs heavily upon the future of Babylon's agricultural prosperity. Can the Code of Hammurabi effectively navigate the complex web of competing interests and ensure the equitable distribution of vital resources like water, safeguarding the livelihoods of all who depend upon them? Only time will unveil the answer as the fate of Babylon hangs in the balance. Episode 7. The Blind Eye. In the heart of Babylon's bustling tavern, where shadows dance amidst the flickering torchlight and whispers of corruption linger like a foul stench, a tale of betrayal and redemption unfolds. Sinshar-Ishkun, a weary soldier haunted by the specters of war, seeks solace within the dim confines of Abum-Shapiku's tavern. Yet, amidst the haze of ale and smoke, he bears witness to a darker truth, a den of iniquity where illegal dealings thrive beneath the facade of revelry. Troubled by the blatant disregard for the law, Sinshar-Ishkun confronts Nikmu, the captain of the guard, only to discover a festering rot that extends far beyond the tavern's walls. Nikmu, shackled by fear and resignation, confesses the grim reality. Powerful forces shield Abum-Shapiku and his ilk, brazenly flouting justice with impunity. Besieged by a sense of duty and righteous indignation, Sinshar-Ishkun grapples with the weight of his dilemma. Fearful of retribution yet unwilling to tolerate the perversion of justice, he seeks counsel from a venerable elder who imparts wisdom drawn from the sacred laws of Hammurabi. Empowered by the knowledge of his rights as a citizen under the code, Sinshar-Ishkun resolves to confront the scourge of corruption head-on, marching forth to present his grievances before the hallowed halls of justice presided over by Itimardu. With unwavering resolve, Sinshar-Ishkun lays bare the festering wound of corruption, igniting the flames of investigation that illuminate the darkness cloaking Babylon's underbelly. Through meticulous scrutiny, Itimardu unveils the tendrils of corruption that ensnare not only Abum-Shapiku, but also those who wield influence like a cloak of impunity. In a decisive act of justice, Itimardu orders a swift and resolute raid upon the tavern, casting light upon the shadowy machinations that had thrived in secrecy for far too long. The pillars of power that once shielded the corrupt crumble beneath the weight of truth, restoring faith in the sanctity of the law. As the echoes of the raid reverberate throughout the city, a renewed sense of hope blooms within the hearts of its citizens. Yet the battle against corruption rages on, an eternal struggle between the forces of righteousness and the allure of darkness. Will the vigilance of justice prevail, or will the tendrils of corruption once again entwine Babylon in their insidious embrace? Only time will unveil the answer, as the Code of Hammurabi stands as a bastion of righteousness in the face of adversity. Episode 8. The Architect's Ambitions. Amidst the sprawling construction site of Babylon's Grand Temple complex, where the labor of countless hands converges to shape the legacy of a mighty kingdom, a clash of wills threatens to disrupt the harmony between ambition and humanity. Shallum, once a humble stonemason elevated to the esteemed position of foreman, finds himself at the nexus of discord as he navigates the tumultuous waters stirred by the ambitions of Imgur-Enlil, the brilliant yet overbearing architect tasked with realizing King Hammurabi's grand vision. As the relentless march of progress collides with the imperative of worker safety, tensions escalate to a breaking point when a calamitous accident casts a dark shadow upon the construction site, leaving several laborers injured in its wake. Horrified by the tragedy born of haste and negligence, Shallum confronts Imgur-Enlil, who remains steadfast in his pursuit of the king's impossible deadline, heedless of the toll exacted upon the lives of those who toil beneath his command. Driven by a steadfast commitment to justice and the sanctity of human life enshrined within the Code of Hammurabi, Shillum seeks redress from the venerable halls of justice presided over by Mardu, the custodian of Babylon's laws. Armed with the wisdom gleaned from the sacred texts, Shillum invokes the provisions that safeguard the welfare of workers, imploring the judge to hold the architect accountable for his callous disregard for their safety. In a solemn reckoning that reverberates through the corridors of power, Mardu convenes the architect and delivers a stern rebuke, condemning his negligence as a betrayal of the principles enshrined within the code. Despite the protests of Enlil, who seeks refuge behind the veil of royal decree, justice prevails as the judge orders a delay in the construction schedule, a poignant reminder that the pursuit of progress must never come at the expense of human life. Yet, the tempest of discord rages unabated as King Hammurabi, emboldened by his fervent zeal for his legacy project, summons both Enlil and Mardu to justify their actions. In a clash of ideals, the king's insistence on expediency clashes with the judge's unwavering commitment to justice, as the fate of the Grand Temple hangs in the balance. In a testament to the enduring wisdom of the code, Mardu implores the king to heed the clarion call of justice, reminding him that a society built upon the pillars of fairness and compassion will endure long after the echoes of ambition fade into obscurity. Acknowledging the wisdom in the judge's words, King Hammurabi grants a measured extension for the completion of the temple, a gesture of reconciliation that preserves the sanctity of human life while honoring the pursuit of greatness. As news of the ruling spreads among the laborers, a newfound sense of hope blossoms within their hearts as they bear witness to the code's unwavering commitment to their welfare. Amidst the ebb and flow of progress, Shillum continues to lead his team with courage and conviction, ensuring that the noble ideals enshrined within the code remain the guiding light in the relentless pursuit of Babylon's greatness. Yet, as the dust settles upon the hallowed grounds of the construction site, a haunting question lingers in the air, a question that echoes through the annals of time. Can the Code of Hammurabi navigate the delicate balance between ambition and humanity, ensuring that the pursuit of progress never comes at the cost of human life? Only time will reveal the answer, as the legacy of Babylon endures through the ages, a testament to the enduring power of justice and compassion. Episode 9. The Refugees' Plight. Amidst the vibrant tapestry of Babylon's bustling marketplace, where the ebb and flow of commerce intertwine with the aspirations of those seeking sanctuary from the ravages of war, a tale of compassion and resilience emerges. Inanna, once a beacon of hope for the oppressed, now dedicates herself to the noble cause of aiding refugees as they seek to rebuild their shattered lives within the embrace of Babylon's welcoming arms. Among them is Zababa-Shari, a weary traveler burdened by the scars of conflict and the weight of responsibility for his family's future. Yet the promise of refuge proves elusive as Zababa-Shari finds himself ensnared in the clutches of exploitation, forced to toil under the yoke of Gimil Marduk, a callous foreman who profits from the desperation of the displaced. Witnessing the injustices inflicted upon her fellow refugees, Inanna is stirred to action, invoking the timeless principles of fairness and justice enshrined within the sacred laws of Hammurabi. In a courageous bid to champion the rights of the downtrodden, Inanna beseeches Mardu, the guardian of Babylon's legal code, to heed the cries of the voiceless and extend the mantle of protection to those who have sought sanctuary within Babylon's storied walls. Though the absence of specific laws pertaining to refugees presents a formidable obstacle, Inanna's impassioned plea ignites a spark of ingenuity within the judge's heart. Recognizing the inherent dignity of all who dwell within Babylon's embrace, Mardu embarks upon a bold course of action, issuing a groundbreaking decree that extends the shield of legal protection to refugees. Drawing upon the foundational principles of fairness and equality that underpin the Code of Hammurabi, the decree mandates fair wages, safe working conditions, and a pathway to legal residency for those who contribute to the fabric of Babylonian society. As news of the decree spreads like wildfire through the labyrinthine alleyways of Babylon, a palpable sense of hope takes root within the hearts of refugees, kindling the flames of resilience amidst the darkness of uncertainty. Yet, amid the jubilation, whispers of dissent reverberate among Babylon's native populace, as fears of job competition and cultural assimilation cast a shadow upon the promise of inclusion. In the crucible of Babylon's melting pot, the true test of the code's adaptability unfolds, a test that will determine whether the ancient laws of Hammurabi can bridge the divide between disparate peoples and forge a society founded upon the principles of equity and compassion. As the city's fate hangs in the balance, only time will unveil the answer, as the legacy of Hammurabi endures as a beacon of justice in a world fraught with adversity. Episode 10. Legacy in Stone. In the heart of Babylon, amidst the labyrinthine streets where the echoes of the past intertwine with the promise of the future, a tale of resilience and renewal unfolds, a testament to the enduring legacy of the Code of Hammurabi and its indelible impact on the fabric of society. Shillum, the venerable stonemason entrusted with the sacred task of preserving the aging code's stele, stands as a sentinel of history, bearing witness to the passage of time and the evolving tapestry of Babylonian life. As he meticulously restores the weathered inscriptions etched upon the ancient stone, he reflects on the journey that has brought Babylon from the brink of chaos to the pinnacle of prosperity. Yet amidst the splendor of Babylon's golden age, whispers of discontent linger in the air as the winds of change sweep across the land, testing the foundations upon which the city's greatness rests. Adad Gupi, once a slave bound by chains of oppression, now stands as a testament to the triumph of the human spirit, yet struggles to find his place in a society still shackled by the prejudices of the past. Meanwhile, Iti-Mardu, the venerable chief judge tasked with interpreting the complexities of the code, finds himself ensnared in a web of legal dilemmas that threaten to undermine the very fabric of justice. As wealthy merchants seek to exploit loopholes and powerful families wield their influence to bend the law to their will, Iti-Mardu grapples with the weight of his responsibility to uphold the principles of fairness and equity. Amidst the tumult, King Hammurabi, the aging monarch whose vision forged the pillars of Babylonian law, ponders his legacy and the future of the code. As he summons Iti-Mardu and Shillum to his side, he acknowledges the inherent imperfections of the code and the ever-present threat posed by the forces of corruption and decay. In a moment of profound insight, Shillum proposes a bold solution: a council of judges tasked with periodically reviewing and updating the code to address the evolving needs of society. Iti-Mardu, recognizing the wisdom in his words, lends his support to the initiative, reaffirming the code's status as a living document shaped by the collective wisdom of generations. As the episode draws to a close, a sense of hope pervades the air, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of justice. A final scene unfolds as a young apprentice stonemason, inspired by Shillum's stories, meticulously carves new amendments onto the weathered surface of the code's stele, a symbol of the code's enduring legacy and its timeless commitment to the pursuit of justice for all who dwell within the embrace of Babylon's storied walls.